Hi, and welcome to Gary's Hobby Studio. For my first video, I'm going to show you guys how to maintain the circuit boards on your hard drives. This will apply to pretty much a lot of different ones. I primarily use Seagate, but it should also apply to like Western Digital, Toshiba, especially a 3.5 inch because they're much larger. What I'm going to do today is take the circuit board off, show you where it oxidizes on the contacts, and eventually it can cause problems. The drive casing, and I'm going to pull it over here right now. This is one of the Seagate. I can't remember what type it is, but obviously it had the blue bottom, and this had a 5 terabyte drive in it. I bought 4 of them because it's in my storage unit behind me, and I had a spare 3 terabytes, so I stuck it in here to use as an external drive. So what happens over time, and I've had to do it with those, and those are 3 years old, and this one's actually 5 years old. It's still kicking, but to keep it kicking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out of this holder, like so. And remember, if you do this while it's under warranty, you do take a chance on voiding the warranty. So what happens here is once you pull this out, and I'm trying not to slice my fingers all at the same time. I hate these things for that reason. Oh, well, if I got the last screw out. Alright. So I've dealt with drives crashing and didn't know that much about it, but so as you can see here, let me grab all the screws and try not to lose them too, because believe me, I've done it. Okay, here's the drive itself, and what happens is that, and you'll see when I take it off, there's certain spots where it makes contact and you have to clean it, and the best thing I would recommend is one of these pencil type erasers with the fuzz on the end of it. Definitely do not use this. This rubber tip here is what you're going to use to clean the oxidation off, and you'll see a difference, and I'll show you. So let me switch, and you could pick up this kit right here at Walmart, I think. I don't know how much it is. My brother got it for me for doing something for him, and he let me keep it. So basically what you do is you find the right size Torx bit, which I think with this set it's a T, I want to say it's a T6, could be a T8, you know, my eyes are bad. So once you find the right size, you remove the screws like so, again trying not to lose them. Once you get them all out, like so. Here's the last one. Okay. And what you'll see here is you pop the circuit board off. You want to clean these screw holes because you can see that they're kind of corroded. And then on the back side, where all the circuits are, you want to clean each of these. Plus, you want to clean these 3 contacts and these contacts right here. Plus, you also want to clean the matching ones here on the drive itself. The reason being is because it's oxidizing on both due to heat, and because it's just touching, it's not soldered tight, so there's that gap, and it arcs across and it generates heat and corrosion. So here what you do, I'll show you a difference here, and it's easiest on this part here. You just take it, go in one direction, try to get closer to the camera, okay, And you just go down like so. And you clean it until it looks something like this. And if I could get it so that the light doesn't shine off of it. But hopefully you can see that this is now cleaner than that up here at the end and down below. Yeah, there we go. It would just focus. Come on, camera, focus. Yeah, I'm using the Logitech webcam, so it's kind of tricky. But as you can see by the light hitting it, even though it's out of focus, this part is clean, that part is not, and down here isn't too. So then what you want to do is then continue, you know, and you could just go in one direction. You don't have to go swipe back and forth. I always like to go, especially on these, from the back side in towards the center, and you just go across all those, do the circles because they make contact for ground, and the cleaner everything is, the better it will work. And believe me, those 5 terabyte drives that's in my FreeNAS server have been running for 3 years, haven't had an ounce of problems with them. And I usually do it every 6 months or so. I think I need to keep a better schedule on that. There's that hole. Here's this one. I would also recommend that you get an anti-static strap. I've done it this way and haven't caused any problems. But your mileage may vary. I won't be able to show you it working when I'm done because OBS Studio, for some dumb reason, I can't get it to focus on just the laptop screen because I have a Lenovo W540, but it works if I had an external monitor connected to it, which I don't currently. I may solve that problem soon too, and then that way I could do that kind of stuff. Got this one cleaned up pretty much. Okay, and as you can see by the light hitting it, I mean, they look a lot better. I mean, I know it's out of focus, but they're shiny and bright. Then you want to do the same thing on the back side here, because again, the screws make contact. They screw down inside the holes, which I don't know if you can see, but you can see the shiny part there. So like I said, it helps with grounding. So you just do the same thing here. Just go across the metal, clean off all the crap. Again, this will void your warranty if you do something wrong. That's why I recommend that you use an anti-static strap. Like I said, I haven't had a problem with it. But again, I've been doing this for a while. I work in IT. I've fixed home electronics before, so I'm used to doing this kind of stuff, cleaning a lot of carbon buildup and stuff off of television circuit boards, fixing the cracked solder joints because they get too hot, they expand and contract and break loose, and believe me, that'll throw you for a loop sometimes. This one. And I mean, you don't have to have it so shiny that it, like, it's a mirror, but you definitely want to, you'll definitely see when you use one of these on this that that it basically will remove the crud off of it. So there we go. Alright, circuit board's done. Now on to this. Now same rule of thumb. You want to clean these contacts here because it's a single point that makes touch to the flat on the circuit board, and if it's not clean too, it can cause some arcing and some other problems, which you definitely don't want, especially if you want to save, keep your data. There's error correction that's built onto it. If I remember correctly from another video, somebody else talking about it, I think the error correction is in this chip here. Sorry, I didn't have it, but I believe it's this chip right here. And you have to find like the same revision circuit board, like this one here says revision C. You'd have to find the same thing, something that of a working drive, but maybe the heads have crashed, to unsolder the chip, put the new chip on to recalibrate. And I saw the video, and believe me, I don't want to mess with that ever. So what happens is that as this thing starts arcing and changing, it uses up that memory correction on, I can't remember what it is. It's like extra space or something. Like I said, I can't remember the exact thing. And once it runs out, then that's it. Drive's dead. It won't do anything. Pretty much screwed after that. So that's why if you do this maintenance on these type of things, it will keep that from happening, because like I said, those drives are 3 years old. This drive's 5 years old. I checked the serial number. It's 5 years old. It was in 2015. It's now, it may not be exactly 5 years old. It's like 4 years and something. But this thing's still kicking, because I know, because there's data on it that I've used recently. So then what you want to do is then you want to take and just lightly go over this a little bit. Just like so. On these 3 little nubs back here, because that's where the circuit board's going to land. Okay. And again, I don't know how well that's going to show the color change, but I did these 3 here. Now I'm going to do all these here. So now, same thing. Just go across them gently. Don't want to use too much pressure. And believe me, you'll see the color change when you're looking at it doing it. Okay, so there's that way. I'm going to change it this way to make it easier since I'm left-handed. Go across it this way. Now that I got all that cleaned off, and the reason why there's a 3 terabyte and a 5 terabyte external case was because the 5 terabyte externals were cheaper than the 5 terabyte internals when I needed storage space in my server. I don't know if you can see behind me, but right over, whoop, wrong shoulder, right over here is my home, my home network setup. I run Windows domain and file servers, which is fun. It's also a nightmare too, just do the maintenance. You put the screws back in, tighten them down, make sure they're tight. One. And this is nice too, because the fact that the handle has an open end, you can store your most commonly used bits, especially if you're working with these in here. Then that way it's easier to find than trying to remember what it is and all that. So let's go ahead and plug it back in. And you're not a technician if you don't either have extra parts left over or missing some when you're putting it back together. I try not to do that, but it sometimes does happen. It can be anything from you dropped it on the floor to it decided to just go missing and you have no idea where you put it. Okay, so. Sad thing is, this is not magnetic, which you really don't want around hard drives anyways. But, I mean, I've used some. I just don't leave it on it or anything. And here is the last one. Okay. There we go. Alright. And this is what I mean. There should be 4, but there's only 3. Because I lost one. Alright, so. But still it works without the 4th one. There we go. Okay, so now it's back in its case. Let's see, it should go on this way. Yep. Clicked in. There you go. And let me grab the cord and the power supply for it. Power's in, USB is in, and well, I found it. And now I'm opening this up. And yes, I know you can't see it because I can't get OBS Studio to detect it. It just opened up and all my files are there. I have a backup 11-7-2019 completed, APC backup 5/16/2017, backup P51, ISOs, miscellaneous files. So it works because I'm reading you off what it is. I wish that I could show you. I can take a screenshot of it and possibly put it in the put a link to it for somewhere, but there you guys go. That is how you would maintain this so that it eventually doesn't burn out. I'm not saying burn out, but it'll stop being able to read the sectors on the disk, and the disk will go bad ahead of time. Like I said, this is the first time I've actually maintenance that 3 terabyte, but I never had any problems with it. The 5 terabytes, I don't think I had a problem with those either. They're in the FreeNAS unit. But again, I always like to maintain the stuff so that way that doesn't happen. I know there were some 3s that I had that are still in there that are still going. They were kind of acting a little flaky. One drive I actually had to swap out, but again, I'm doing the same thing. I pull the drives out, take the boards off, clean the contacts, put the boards back on, and then put them back in, and they seem to be working, and I haven't had any problems. Those drives could last me maybe another 3-5 years, which is fine with me because drive prices are expensive. I haven't really had too many problems with Seagate drives other than just that. I'm sure Western Digital and Toshiba drives are pretty much the same things, because if you look at any debates online where it's like, oh, I love Western Digital, I never have any problems with it, and then there's people who go, oh, I love what Seagate, I've never had problems with them. You're looking at possibly, they're pretty much the same. They're both made in like Singapore or some faraway place. It just depends on like your environment, how clean it is. I mean, mine's in my house, So basically, it's the same thing. It's like anything else. If you do the maintenance, you do that every so often. May not have to be every 6 months. Could be once a year. But at least you're cleaning those contacts. You saw when I held them there that they actually change color, and that's what you want to see. You want to see the brighter part of it. That makes a better connection when the two are, when the point is touching the flat, because the better the contact it makes, the better it's going to work. The data is going to whatever those pins. Well, I know the 3 pins power the spinning platter. It's power, ground, and probably signal, so that way if it senses if there's a problem, it shuts down or whatever, if there's any errors. The chip connectors is probably what's for the data heads, because the heads are like this, and the platters are in between it, and that's how it writes to it, like this. So basically, that's what those are. And the better the contacts that it makes, the data will flow better, and less likely you'll have read or write errors. So I hope that helps. Like I said again, you can do it without an anti-static strap. I would recommend till you get used to it to use an anti-static strap. Like I said, I've been doing this stuff for way too long. Like I said, I started electronics fixing TVs, and I had to do the same thing. I had to unsolder, clean with that, and on flat parts like that, and that's how I translated it to this. But again, I hope that helps. I hope you guys come back to see other videos that I will be posting, but this is my first video for you guys, and like I said, it should help you prolong the life of the drive. How well like I said, the ones over there are 3 years, this one here's 5 years, and the more you can get use out of it before it actually crashes, the better you'll be. So from Gary's Hobby Studio, see you next time.